Hey guys, this is OBLVYN. This is Nibbler. I'm gonna show you my studio. Just walking out of my bedroom now. Through my basement. Around the corner. Yeah, here it is. This is where I make most of my music now. I've been living here for about a year now. Before that, I lived with my parents, and I had most of this stuff crammed into a tiny bedroom. And that's kind of how I lived when I first started producing music. Back then I worked full-time, still work full-time, and bought a lot of this stuff used, or working at a music store. I got it at a good price. So collected a bunch of stuff over the years. I'll show you some of my keyboards here. This is Rolly Seaboard Rise 49, which is a super cool instrument. Got it secondhand for a really good price. It's totally different than a normal keyboard, but yeah, super expressive. Love that I got this thing. This is my very first Midi Keyboard, which is an M-Audio Oxygen 61. It's pretty old, it's in rough shape. Missing some caps here on the faders. Took it on tour a couple times, gigged with it a lot. I'll show you behind, which is why I held on to this thing. I put some stickers on it from some bands that we used to gig with and some bands that I was into when I was younger. Yeah, there's On the Front Line. So yeah, I've got drum pads here, which I reconfigured from an old Alesis electronic kit that I had when I was in high school. Might use it for live, I don't know, we'll see. This is my newest keyboard, Roland Juno DS61 Black Edition. I got this because I can load samples into it, play them on the keys, so I don't have to use a MIDI controller with a laptop live anymore, which will be great, so I don't have to worry about a computer crashing and whatnot. This is a Microkorg, my very first synthesizer when I started getting into electronic music. And then I have a poster of Paramore from probably like 2008 or so. Still one of my favorite bands to this day. Yeah, I got some lights here that I'm building just out of LED strips. And yeah, they'll be synced to my music, so hopefully when I start playing live shows it'll look pretty sick, but it's still a work in progress. Got a fake plant. All my real plants died. Living in a basement, no sunlight, so yep. And then I have a picture of Simple Plan, which is signed by Chuck and Pierre. I've had this for like 14 or 15 years now. Still one of my favorite bands. Ikea Couch, Ikea Table, Ikea Chair. This fireplace, it's pretty cool. I mean, keeps things warm. It gets pretty cold here in the winter. It gets down to like plus 14 degrees Celsius in here, which is really cold, so I like to stay warm. In the summer even, it gets down to like 17 degrees, so keep that on. Right now it's 21 degrees, which is nice and warm, and then the humidity is at 41, which is slightly high, but good for the guitars. Yeah, let's talk about these lights. These are Nanoleaf panels. Really cool. I got these for a really good deal off Kijiji. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to afford them because they're pretty expensive brand new, but they had a really cool vibe to the room. They come with this remote, which basically turn it on the side, and it has different colors. Some of them are sound reactive. Yeah, but mostly I'll keep it on like a daylight setting, because I like daylight, but this is the next best thing. So, yep, and then Nibbler, I'm gonna play. This is my very first guitar amp. It's It's a Vox AC15 VR. Got it when I started forming a band and jamming with people. Still have it as a backup amp. And then this is my orange TH30 head. Had this one for a long time, toured, gigged. It sounds amazing for the type of music I'm making. And then I have a orange 1x12 cab. My 2x12 is at my drummer's house right now. But I'll use that for just practicing at home. And then my pedal board with pedals that I've collected over the years. I've had it pretty much set this way for about 1.5 years now though. So yeah, that's my live guitar rig with some guitars here. This one is my newest one, which is an Ernie Ball Music Man Stingray in ivory. Really cool, saved up for a long time to get that. And then my only acoustic, which is a Taylor Academy. Don't do a lot of acoustic playing. And then I have a white Telecaster and a black Telecaster. This one actually was a project guitar. So I took a Squier 69 thin line body, replaced the neck, all the hardware, the pickups. I had a friend help me out with that. So it's gold on black, looks pretty cool. And then I have a Fender Starcaster, which I wanted one of these for the longest time because it looks like a pretty unique shape. Whoops. And then a Squier jazz bass just for demos. Not really jazz or a bass player. More keyboards here. Novation Impulse 61 Midi Keyboard. Got that as an upgrade to that M-Audio one. Keys are not much better, but it's got more controls, pads, faders, knobs, and then more controls in the back for live performance and recording in MIDI. This is a Dave Smith Prophet Rev 2 8-voice polyphonic synthesizer. It is half digital, half analog. Lots of fun to play around with. Yeah. And then I have a Roland System 8 synthesizer. This one is my favorite synthesizer. I use this in a lot of videos. And then over here is the Nord Stage 3. Saved up for a very long time to get this one. Really cool. Gigged with it a couple times. It's kind of heavy, but it has everything you could ever want. Organ, piano, synth, you can load your samples in, and then built-in effects. And then Nibbler. Macbook Pro with Logic Pro. Haven't updated it in a long time, probably about 5 years, but still works for me. So got some monitors, Yamaha HS8s, DigiDesign RM2s. Also bought those secondhand, so that's why I have 2 pairs. I use this one mainly for writing and mixing, and then I'll kind of reference between both of them, but I just like the sound of those ones better. And then interface, right now my Antelope Discrete 4 is in repair, so I'm using my old Focusrite Sapphire Pro 40. Right now I'm just doing a lot of keyboard recording, so it does the trick. I've got a couple preamps, Golden Age Pre-73 Mark II, and then a Warm Audio TP12. I do a lot of stuff in the box though, so don't get a lot of use out of those, but it's good to have. I just got a mic here, whoops, which is a Sennheiser E906 that I'll use mostly as a talkback mic now. I used to use it for miking guitar cabs, but yeah, I'll show you my other mics in a sec. And what else? I got a 10-inch KRK sub down here, as well as a sub pack on the back of my chair for those low frequencies. More LEDs. And then I got a little mic cabinet here, which is, yeah, it's a mess, but I got a few mics in there. And then cables are in those drawers, and mic stands are in there. The sound treatment for this room, it sounds pretty good. The carpets are pretty thick, and then I have these sound panels which I built out of a wooden frame. Then there's a layer of hard fiberglass and then rock wool. And then there's these foam diffusers, bass traps, same as the panels, they're just like in a prism shape. And then I got one up there as well. Kitchen is behind those curtains. If we go over here, here is my vocal booth, which I turned into a vocal booth from a storage closet. There's like shelves back here. I covered it up with some pretty heavy theater curtain, and then these walls are also rock wall covered in broadcloth. The ceiling, there's a heating duct that runs across, which sucks, so I kind of covered it up with cardboard and foam panels. Yeah, and that works. This mic here, this one is my favorite mic I pretty much use for everything. It's an Antelope Edge Duo, which is a dual membrane, large diaphragm condenser. Use it with software to get the other mic emulations, so it models like vintage mics. So I'll use it on vocals, acoustic guitar, miking guitar amps. Sounds good for pretty much everything. And that's an air freshener because it smells like old house in here. And there's Nibbler. Hey Nibbler, ooh. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. If you have any questions about anything specific, just leave a comment or a message and I'll get back to you. But yeah, talk to you later. Talk to you soon. See you later.